Hello and welcome back to another video. This is another video, some important tips and revision for maths paper 4. Now I made another video before which was about paper 2 and that discussed more simpler calculations and how to avoid them. In this video I discussed a bit more complicated subjects which will help you for paper 4. I hope this video helps you. Let's get started. Before moving on to the rules, let's discuss some points. So, first of all, whenever you have the exam paper, make sure that you are calm and collected. Read your questions carefully and underline any important values. Have a pencil on hand, and if you see any number, for example, length is 2 centimeter, this is that, just underline it. Secondly, time is very limited, right? So allocate time based on marks. If a question has more number of marks, for example 6 marks, you would know that it's going to have a lot of steps, so it is going to take some time. Even if you don't know all of the steps, just write whatever you can, okay? You can always come back to it later. But on the other hand, if a question is just 1 mark, you don't have to spend more than 1 to 2 minutes on that question. Next, double check all your calculations on the calculator after each step. Whenever you do each step and you do that calculation on the calculator, you could have press the wrong key by mistake. So I suggest do it after every step. Redo the calculation on the calculator, so it will save you time. Then check geometrical units. Make sure you don't have to do any conversions from centimeter to meter, kilometer, anything like that. And then finally, always show all the steps. Why? Because steps carry marks. And also, if you have a mistake in the final answer, you can get your marks from the steps. So always show all the steps. Now, moving on. What is a quadratic formula? Quadratic formula is minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. If we have a quadratic equation like this, a is going to be the coefficient of x squared, basically the number before x squared, so this is 45. B is going to be the coefficient for x, so this is going to be 3, and c is the number without any variable, which is 5. Now if, for example, this was written as 5 plus 45 here 45x squared plus 3x, now a doesn't become 5 or 45 or 3, okay? Always look at the variable attached to it. X squared is a, x is b, this is c. Apply these numbers into the formula. Now here in this question we already have the final value, but you're supposed to find a, b, and c. You don't know these numbers. How can you find them? Let's see. First of all, the most easiest one is that you can find b. So they said this is minus b. So if this is negative 10, b is going to be like this. Minus b equals to minus 10. Therefore, b equals to minus 10 divided by minus 1 equals to 10. So b is 10. What about a? Next step is always find a from the denominator, because 2a equals to 10. So that means a is going to be 10 divided by 2, which equals to 5. Now you can easily find c. Here we can see we wrote 4ac. c is 200. 4ac equals to 200. What about c? c is going to be 200 divided by 4a, which is 200 divided by 4 multiplied by 5. This gives you 10 again, because 200 divided by 20 is 10. Oh, I hope that's clear. We can move on now. Now we have something called factorization. We have this equation, x squared minus 9x plus 8. We have to factorize it. So always the number, which is b here, the number before x becomes the sum, becomes the number for which we have to find the sum. The last number without any variable becomes the product. Now you are supposed to identify two numbers. When we multiply them, you get 8. When you add them, you get 9. So that could be negative 8 multiplied by negative 1. Negative 8 plus negative 1. This will give you minus 9, and when you multiply, you will get 8. So write this as x squared, same, plus, no need to write plus, we'll just write minus 8x minus x from 1, because this is minus 1, so we'll just write minus x or minus 1x plus 8. Now from the first two terms, take common out. This would be x minus 8. Okay, from the second part you have to make sure it's the same as the expression inside the bracket. So this is x minus 8, this is x minus 8. Now what can we take outside? We can take minus 1 outside. Why minus 1? Because when you multiply this you get minus x, when you multiply it like this you get plus 8. Now we can join this and this, so this is going to be x minus 1 and then x minus 8, x minus 8. So this is the factorization of this expression. Now on the other hand, over here 25 plus x squared plus 10x, do you know which one is going to be for the sum and which number is going to be for the product? Remember, that is with x, or just x is that is going to be sum. So this is 10. The number without any variable is going to be for the product. So this is going to be 5 times 5 and 5 plus 5. Write x squared plus 5x plus 5x plus 25. Take common out x plus 5. Write same there, x plus 5. And we will take 5 outside. So this is going to be x plus 5 and then x plus 5. On the other hand, here this is also factorization, but if you notice a difference here compared to these two questions, in these two questions both of the coefficient of x squared is 1, right? This is 1, this is 1, but here we have 2. So what do? We're supposed to multiply them together to find for the product. So what about for the sum? We'll take the coefficient of x, which is 1, and then here negative 15 times 2, which is going to be negative 30. So what are our numbers going to be for sum and product? We can choose negative 5 times 6. This gives us negative 30, and then negative 5 plus 6 gives us 1. So now we'll write 2x squared minus 5x plus 6 minus 15. Take the common one out from the first two terms. We can take x out. This is going to be 2x minus 5. This is x. Now from the second part we need 2x minus 5 again. So if you take the common out, it could be 3. So you can write x plus 3 and then 2x minus 5. This is the factorization of this expression. Here we have we're supposed to factorize again. So take common out from 9x squared plus 15xy. We can take 3 out. We can also take x out. This is going to be plus 5y. That is the factorization. Next question. Simplify. What is the meaning of simplify? To give answer in the simplest form. The first step is to identify the like terms and put them together. So this would be 2a squared plus 5a squared. Okay, now we have this for ab and ab. We'll write plus 3ab minus 9ab. Finally, we're left with the numbers plus 4 minus 1. 2 plus 5 is going to be 7a squared. Minus 9 plus 3 is going to be minus 6ab. And then finally 4 minus 1 is plus 3. So that is our answer. Expand now. Expansion basically means open the bracket. So multiply it like this and then like this. This is going to be 6x squared minus 12xy. That is the expansion. If we were supposed to factorize, when you're factorizing, you take the common out. So common out would be 3x, and then you will be left with 2x minus 4y. So opening brackets is expansion. Getting brackets again is factorization. Now, in this question, you have this equation and you're supposed to solve for x. Solve for x means to solve the value of x. Now here we can say we have x plus 3, and x minus 2. We can divide this into 3 parts, this and this. First, we can say x equals to 0. Then we can say x plus 3 equals to 0. So that means x is going to be minus 3. And then x minus 2 equals to 0. That will make x equals to plus 2. So these are three values of x. Now we have another concept which is called as difference of squares. Whenever you have a square minus b square, this is going to become, remember you need to have a minus sign, a plus b, a minus b. So here 16x squared minus 144x squared, 16x squared is 4 square x squared and minus 12 square y square. Okay, you will write 4x, that is a, plus 12y, and then 4x minus 12y, that is the difference of square. Remember, if there is a plus between them, you cannot do this. You need to have a minus in between. Notice that this is just another form of factorization, so this is also factorization. Okay. Alright, this equation, this type of equation is called as a perfect square trinomial. What is that? In that equation, we have a square plus 2ab plus b squared becomes a plus b whole squared. So that means the first term is squared, the last term is also squared, and the one is center is 2 times a times b. So first, let's identify what is a. Here we know a square equals to 25x squared. 25x squared. So to find a, you have to square root both sides, and you'll get a equals 5x. What about b squared? So b squared is going to be 16y squared. Therefore b is equals to 4y. So now a plus b whole squared. What is a? A is 5x plus b. What is b? That is 4y, and then square this. So that's your factored expression. Okay, next question. We're supposed to complete the square for this question. How can for this expression? Okay, how can we do that? First, identify what is a, b, and c. A is 1, b is 6, and c is 5. For this you only need the b value. Okay, what is b? B is 6 here. B equals to 6. Now what is half of b? Half of b equals to 3. What is half of b squared? Like this is going to be 3 times 3 squared. Half b squared, which equals to 9. Now write this down. X squared plus 6x. Now you got 9, right? So you're supposed to write plus 9 and minus 9. Plus 9 minus 9 plus 5. Now you have to factorize x squared plus 6x. But from these one, which number do you choose? You choose a number which is squared. So that which is squared, so this is 9, because 3 squared equals to 9. We can't choose negative 9 because we don't a negative number is not a square number. So now you have on the side, you have x squared plus 6x plus 9. Let's factorize this, sum and product. This is going to be 6 and 9. This can be 3 times 3 and 3 plus 3. X squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 9. Take common out x plus 3, and then write x plus 3 again. What are we left with? 3. So you can write x plus 3 and x plus 3. So now this is same as x plus 3 whole squared. So instead of this expression, we can just write x plus 3 squared. And what are we left with? We're left with minus 9 plus 5. This is negative 4. That is the completed square form. Now let's draw our trigonometric graph for y equals sine x, cos x, and tangent x. So let's start with y equals sine x. So here the maximum point for y would be 1 and negative 1. And for the x-axis, the maximum is 360 and negative 360 for one cycle. And then it will go on and on. So let's start. Sine graph always starts from 0. And then at 90, it peaks, something like this. And then at 180, it goes back. and then at 270 it becomes -1, reaches the negative peak, and then back to 360. The same goes on the other side, but here this is how it will be, and then like this, and then from 180 to 360 we'll have a positive side, and the maximum would be at over here, 1 and -270, something like this. This is y equals sine x. Now what if they said y equals 2 sine x? What will you do? You will write 2 there and -2. The graph will be exactly same, except that the highest number would be 2, and then -2. Okay, negative here, it's also same. Yeah, something like this. Now what about y equals cosine x? Here at the 0 point you have +1, but now if you notice we have pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, and 2 pi. What is that? This is just the same thing. Pi by 2 equals to 90, and then you can find out pi equals to 180. Pi equals to 180, 3 pi by 2 equals to 270, and 2 pi equals to 360. The same thing. Let's draw our cosine graph. Max start from 0, goes down and like this, and then like this. The graph would be something like this. Now what about a tangent graph? So for a tangent graph, what you're supposed to do is first draw dotted lines at each of these numbers, and then -270. This is not the graph line, it's just that our graph line is not supposed to touch this. So from 0, this is how it is, and it goes up, it becomes closer to it, but it never touches it. Same thing down. Repeat this for all of that. Now we have 180, goes up, and then like this. 360 is going to be like this. Now on the other side, -180. This is your tangent graph. Now finally, let's discuss some statistics. Okay, so now we have this range of numbers, and if they ask you to find mean, how do you do that? First of all, you're supposed to add all the numbers that you have, and then divide it by how many numbers you have. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 7 numbers, divide by 7. And this value will give you the mean. Secondly, mode. Which number is the most frequent number? Here you can notice 1 is repeated twice. No other number is repeated, so mode is 1. What is median? Median is the middle number. Make sure when you're finding the median, your number should be arranged in ascending order or in descending order, and then you can find the middle number. What is the middle number here? 1, not 1 and 6, not 1 and 5, not 2 and 4. We have 3. 3 is the middle number. What if, for example, we didn't have this one? What would be the middle number? Now these two numbers are in the middle, right? So we would have done 3 plus 4 divided by 2, 7 divided by 2. That is the median. Okay, and then range. To find the range, maximum number minus the minimum number. So 6 minus 1 will give you 5. Now how will we apply the statistics rule when you have a table? First question, if they ask you to calculate the mean, how will we do that? To do that, first find the midpoint. Here you can see we have weight, which is given as a range, and we have frequency, which is the number of times these numbers are repeated. To do that, first find the midpoint. To find the midpoint, add 10 plus 0 divided by 2. This equals to 5. 5 is the midpoint. Here, 30 plus 10 divided by 2. 40 divided by 2 is 20. So 20 is the midpoint. Logically, you can see this is going to be in the center, right? A number between 10 and 30 in the exact center is 20. Finally, 30 plus 40 divided by 2 equals to 35. Okay, now to calculate the mean, multiply your midpoint by the frequency. So it's going to be 5 times 24 and then add that for the second value. This is going to be 20 times 20, and then add that for the final one, 35 multiplied by 10. Now you're supposed to divide this by the sum of frequencies. So add these numbers. 20 plus 10 is 30. 30 plus 24 is going to be 54. So divide this by 54 to calculate the mean. Now, complete the cumulative frequency table. So for example, if they ask you to find CUF, how are you going to find it? Cumulative basically means adding up. So first it's 24. Then it's going to be 24 plus 20. This is 44. And then 44 plus 10, that is 54. Finally, they're asking you to complete the frequency density table. Remember, to find the frequency density, the formula is frequency divided by class width. What is class width? You're supposed to subtract them, okay? 10 minus 0, 30 minus 10, 40 minus 30. Frequency divided by class width. First one is going to be 24 divided by 10 minus 0. You can calculate it. For the second one, it's going to be frequency is 20 divided by 30 minus 10. And then finally, it's going to be frequency, which is 10 divided by 40 minus 30. So these are your frequency table. You might be asked to calculate it, and then you can be asked to draw a graph of it, a bar chart, and so on. This usually CUF is used for a line chart, like something like this, while frequency density is for a bar chart, which is like this. Okay.